So this is a really interesting historical moment because what you're getting to see firsthand is who are the narrative humpers, who are the wave riders, and who actually has a spine, has morals, has principles, has conviction, and is willing to stand up for what's right.
Now, this is going to be shocking to some people, maybe if someone who watches the show, but it's not shocking to me.
All right, so there's a lot I have to say in response to this. These kinds of criticisms from this guy, I honestly believe that these people usually overstate how bad Trump is, and they understate how bad Biden is. Well, you're more ideologically in agreement with Biden than you are in agreement with Trump. Well, actually, when it comes to the First Step Act, I agree with Trump on that. When it comes to pardoning Alice Johnson, I agree with Trump on that. When it comes to TPP, Trump's against it, Biden's for it. I agree with Trump on that. I agree more with Trump on North Korea than I agree with Biden. I would need to be convinced that Biden would fight for at least one or two of my top 5 issues. Medicare for all, free college, living wage, ending the wars, and UBI. The people who say Trump is a fascist and they think he's like, basically, we can't survive another 4 years of America with him. Yes. The country will survive 4 years with Trump. The country will survive 4 years with Joe Biden. Again, I think they understate how bad Biden is. Why? On so many core issues, he's against us. Me, at least. I can't speak for this guy. Joe Biden pushed for NAFTA. He repeatedly pushed for TPP. He's a supporter of the Iraq War. On all the pivotal issues of his time, he was wrong. So stop overstating how bad Trump is. The country's still going to exist in 4 years. And understating how bad Biden is. Because it's annoying. I just don't agree with the people who are like, he's a fascist, he's a Nazi, the country's not going to exist in 4 years. You're hyperbolic and you're ridiculous.
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
All right, so we've seen DEMINEM here, his Kyle Kalinske, his slide to the right, going from left to liberal, right? So he's now a Democratic sycophant, the real Dem Shady. So we're going to have him talking with his girl Krystal Ball and Mike Figueredo. I think it's Figueredo. Figueredo or Figueredo, I forget exactly which one it is. I apologize. But they were all leftists at one time who are all now liberals and Democratic sycophants and just up under the wing. So you heard what he was saying about Joe Biden. You see him smacking himself. So we got one of those for Krystal Ball kind of coming up later. But we're just going to show them sucking Democratic, and then they're going to be talking about MAGA, but they're going to be blue MAGA, so here we go.
And I want to know your thoughts on new media because I look now, I mean, it is a fucking cesspool. I see Slow Rogan was defending Elon's Nazi salute, of course, because he's got his little peanut brain. Yeah. Oh, I can never disagree with Elon. He's such a...
But they wanted us to vote for genocide. What's worse, throwing your hand up or actually committing genocide?
Demi Jor was defending Trump's first day executive orders. He literally did a segment where he was like, the glorious Trump has saved the whales.
I didn't see that segment. But you can see why he doesn't like Jimmy Dore. If you don't know, that was Jimmy Dore that was playing the segment of him beating himself up.
Because he went after windmill. I was like, this is like an AI parody of what Jimmy Dore was going to become, right? I was like, he really got nothing to say about the executive order.
It's crazy. He doesn't even see himself. He's like an AI parody of what he would have became. Like, this dude was one of my favorite left-wing commentators, pundits, whatever, and I could barely watch a show anymore. I had to stop watching for almost the whole time Kamala was running, maybe even a little bit before that, just because how they were just sucking Democratic. It was crazy. I can't, but like, these people will still call themselves left, but they're hard right, not Republicans, liberals.
Order that raised drug prices. You got nothing to say about the executive order that laid the groundwork for war with Mexico. You got nothing to say about the executive order that increased corruption in Trump's cabinet, where he said, you guys could take bribes now. Nothing on any of that.
We already do bribes.
Is, are you as black-pilled as I am on new media? Of course, we're black-pilled on mainstream media, but new media was a separate question. But now I'm like, motherfucker, I got a 7-front war going on. I got to go to war against all these motherfuckers because they're all completely and utterly full of shit and dishonest hacks, and many of them are just paid to spew their opinions.
So there was he did an interview with a guy. Oh, I think it's on this channel. It's a while back. I'll see if I can put it in the end screen. But the guy said, "You made me believe Kamala Harris was gonna win. Like, I trusted you. I believed you." He was like, "Yeah, I lied to myself. I convinced myself she was gonna win." And he's talking about other people. He lies to himself and then lies to us. Like, that's crazy. You're gonna talk about other people being untruthful?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And to your point about Demi, the dude brought on Roseanne Barr with the QAnon hat at a live show, and I'm just like, man, I thought his brain was cooked back in like
he's just out-lefting us, guys.
Yeah.
We just don't understand.
Trump and Demi are just out-lefting everybody. We just don't get it. His own audience.
You just don't get how Trump's saving the
DEMINEM
whales,
over here.
bro. Like, why would we never give him credit?
Oh my gosh, these Democratic sycophants. Yes, Jimmy Dore is outlifting you. Everybody's outlifting you. Everybody who's not a Republican is pretty much outlifting you. Jesus.
At his point, his own audience has got to be like, why are you pretending like he's on the left? Like, we're on the right. We want you to be on the right.
Right.
We want him to be on the right. What do you like? It's this weird ghost of like 2018 where, like it's a parody of what he was going to become.
Yeah.
He's reached his end stage.
I guess so.
He thinks Trump is
MAGA.
doing praxis. He actually thinks Trump is doing praxis. It's so fucking hilarious. No, so like, here's the thing about new media. I think that it has opened a lot of doors for better analysis. One example being Palestine. Like, you just can't see the analyses that Breaking Points or Secular Talk does on MSNBC. I mean, sometimes you do, right? To be fair, Chris, but that's really
sucking each other off now.
To the rule, not like what you see common. But ultimately, new media is a cesspool. For every Kyle or Krystal, there's 10 Demi Doors. For every
DEMINEM, the real Dem Shady, there's a Jimmy Dore who's actually going to tell you the truth about the Democrats. These people they're just getting goofy.
David Dole, there's 15 Joe Rogans.
David Dole.
The problem is that like what
These
made
liberals.
it good has kind of made it bad. And to show you what I mean, before it seemed awesome to have this direct connection to your audience, to where
See, they didn't talk about Sabby Sabs or Hardlands Media, Jamal Thomas. There's some lefties out there, but they're only talking about liberals.
if you mess up, they can correct you. You can see the comments, you can see them grilling you. But that actually kind of became a
These guys don't even read their comments anymore. They even say they don't read their comments. They don't read their comments. They don't respond to their comments. Why are you talking about comments? Your show's too big.
double-edged sword, because now that's facilitated this audience capture where, you know, you say something, you get praised for it. It kind of creates this feedback loop.
That's right.
And then can corner these pundits in certain ways. And, you know, you want to ride the wave. It feels good to get views.
Wave riding.
To do well.
Did we hear something
maybe you
about
kind
that?
of become captured by the audience. And to show, like, anyone is susceptible to this. Like, back when I first started out, I was shitting on Democrats and Hillary Clinton incessantly. And I had built up a lot of right-wing followers. And then all of a sudden I do a video shitting on Pizzagate and, you know, calling them stupid. And then I realized, wow, I got like majority dislikes. And something is going on here.
Yeah.
Is my audience Pizzagators? Like, what am I doing? And I didn't realize that, like, I'd kind of cultivated this, right? By just shitting on Democrats and not contrasting enough with how bad Republicans were. I had created this situation where a lot of my audience were seemingly right-wingers, and they didn't care that I was criticizing Democrats from the left. They just cared that I was shitting on Democrats.
That's right.
Right.
And at that point in time, you know, I had to make a choice.
What was his choice? Do you educate these right-wingers and help them move to the left? That would be my choice, right? Let's see, what's his choice going to be?
Lean into that because that's my audience, or do I shun them? And the answer was, no, I had to shun them.
Smart. Okay, you got all these people that you guys talk about could be dangerous, whatever. And you have an audience of them that are listening to you that like you. And you couldn't make content that could bring them over to the left, that could help educate them to why the left is best or why people are people. That is so weird that you would push them away.
because even though I'm building an audience and I'm getting views and clicks,
But then again, that's what they say. The right wing, they say that they get pushed away, that they're not allowed. That, I mean, both sides say it, but I mean, he's proving it too. Some right. If you're a so-called left winger, but see, this is what liberals do. Savvy Sabs and most, I would think, real left-wing people would try to not cultivate their audience, but cultivate their audience's mind, right? You want to, like I said before, I don't do a lot of Candace Owens stuff because she's dangerous, right? She puts violence into people's minds, and people will act on that. But you got these people that might be watching Candace Owens also, right? Watching you because you were talking shit about the Democrats. And then you're just going to push them away, and Candace Owens is going to be like, yeah, I told you they don't want you. They'll just push you away, proving their point, rather than being like, oh, stay with us, stay my audience, and let's educate you to why you shouldn't be listening to Candace Owens or whatnot. Silly.
I'm not going to basically sell out my own principles to get claps. I don't give a shit. Like, why did I start doing this in the first place? And I think that a lot of people, they're gonna have moments like that, and it's gonna change them, right? They start as lefties, and then little by little they realize, okay, I got pushback when I said this. I won't.
You saw how much Kyle changed in that one video, talking about how he thinks people overblow how bad Trump is and how good Biden is, and then he flipped on that, and they all caught TDS, right? That Trump derangement syndrome is serious, man. It makes these people only see blue. Like, there's only red or blue now. If it's going to be Trump, then we got to go for the Democrats who, with the stroke of her pen, Kamala will put you in jail and take you out. Joe Biden admits he does not care about you. He cares about his family, but not you. It's nuts. And these are the people that they want us to vote for. AOC said there is no left-wing party, talking about the Democrats and the Republicans. They know this. They covered it. They don't care. They're just liberals now. Okay, so we're going to go to the left-wing Krystal Ball real quick. See what she used to have to say before she be turned into a 40 millionaire liberal, right-wing, Democrat, pundit.
But listen to what she used to say when it was more popular to say this kind of thing.
She was riding
when
away.
Bernie Sanders actually was leading a movement, Krystal Ball followed him because it was popular. And now Bernie Sanders isn't, so she's not following him. She's still following him because it's not popular to go against the two parties anymore. So she's changed. Listen to what she used to say.
He's talking
Signing
about
on for an affirmative Joe Biden vote means actively supporting a politician and political movement that's most deeply held conviction is kicking you in the face.
Wow, sounds like a different
for the
person.
Continuation of an abusive relationship.
Ooh.
And most
She's saying that what she is saying now, she's advocating for an abusive relationship with you and the Democratic Party.
Wow.
Because that's what she used to say. I wonder what changed. $40 million? It's not popular anymore to be against the two parties? I don't know. I guess whatever. She doesn't have the courage of her conviction at all, and this proves it.
importantly, signing on for a status quo.
She's an actress, very much like AOC.
Yeah.
She doesn't believe a fucking thing she says. She knows the popular thing to say at the moment, and then she'll say it.
That has brought millions of Americans economic, emotional, and physical ruin. And their whole strategy rests on the assumption that in spite of your protestations and gnashing of teeth on Twitter, you will, in fact, fall in line. Sure, progressive groups issued a list of demands, but Biden's not going to take any of those seriously because no one's making him take them seriously.
Including Krystal Ball and Kyle Kalinske. They'll never use their leverage to make Joe Biden take them seriously. They'll never do anything except fall in line with the corporatocracy that is the Democratic Party. Isn't it amazing that she used to sound like Jimmy Dore and now she sounds like Debbie Wasserman Schultz?
Yeah, but Jimmy, there's a lot of things that have changed. We have a creeping authoritarianism. Democracy's on the ballot. Fascism.
They got that
They're
TDS.
letting people say some things on Twitter now. I think we're at crisis.
These groups have already pledged to vote for him and organize the youth vote. Why? Because as Mehdi says, what other choice do you have? But in fact, there is another choice.
There's another choice.
It's a choice that centrists wield very effectively.
Holy moly. I hate when they call out centrists when they are centrists. But what's the other choice? We could vote for the Green Party. We could protest vote for the DSA, vote for the greater good. That would be a wonderful choice.
Like a battle axe all the time. Centrists and their
All the
corporate
time.
allies are constantly coddled and constantly pandered to and have won all the power in America because they are willing to withhold their votes.
Aww. Withhold your vote. That's exactly what they want you to do, is not vote. The less people to vote, the better for them, the more control they have.
Maybe we'll be with you, maybe we won't. And the reality confronting leftists right now is that while it may be ugly and you will
can't talk for us,
100% be hated, I can promise you that, there is no path to actual power that doesn't involve being willing to wield the power that you have.
And she is not willing to do that. And she's
But wield it and use it correctly. Vote for the Green Party. Vote for the Libertarian Party. Wherever your morals or standards or whatever you want to call them are, they're not with the Democratic Party.
proven it to you over and over. She's kicking you and pissing right in your mouth. She's draining her balls of urine into your mouth.
And then he's just going to be talking mess about her for the rest of the time, I think. Oh, no, wait, let's see.
And she doesn't give a fuck. And this is proof of that. And why is it upsetting? Because she represents a lot of people with zero integrity and are willing to lie to you because it's popular at this moment. And that's what she's doing. Here we go.
Okay.
There will be no concessions granted out of kindness. And if the GOP's central driving force right now is owning the libs, the Dems' central driving force right now is to own the left. Don't let Obama's nice words or Bernie's castigating fool you.
Listen at her.
Wow. She completely contradicted herself.
Wow.
Completely contradicted herself. They played a thing earlier where she was talking. Let's see. Should we show some of that? Hold on. All right. Let's listen at what she's talking about. Cornel West. It's obvious. And the left. This is her now compared to what she used to say.
Only thing that Cornel West, Dr. West, who I love, admire, respect, whose politics I almost wholly and completely share. I think effectively the only thing that his campaign will accomplish is, number one, helping to reelect Donald Trump, and number two, hurting the left. Because ultimately, you know, there's just a poll that came out that...
Gotcha.
Now, listen, it's fully on Joe Biden that he needs to do more to appeal to potential Cornel West voters, but let's live in the land of reality of how this is going to work out. They're not going to do that. Dr. West will take some percentage, relatively small percentage, away from the Democratic Party, and it makes it easier for Donald Trump to get elected. So if your priority is reelecting a Democrat, and if you believe, as I do,
why would it be?
That Donald Trump and Joe Biden are not equivalent, that Joe Biden has been better in particular on economics, but also with things like the withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Are you joking?
All right, so if you guys want to hear Jimmy Dore and them talk, watch the Jimmy Dore show. But she just said voting for Joe Biden is like he's punching you or kick you in the face, right? She's telling you to get back with the Democratic Party, to be with the Democratic Party when they just kick you in the, and they're not even going to do nothing. It'd be better if Joe Biden tried to get your vote, she was saying. But she said, we know he's not going to do that. If we know he's not going to do anything to get our vote, why would we vote for him? Why not vote for the greater good? The Green Party, DSA, what do you call it, the Libertarians, anybody. Vote for yourself. If you know Joe Biden is bad, why are you telling people to vote for someone who's just going to kick you in the face? This is crazy. Her and DEMINEM, they need to just come out and make your why you left the left video already, okay? Just why are you a liberal? And do the Democrats, you and the majority report, you guys need to get together and just have this real big why I left the left. Why we're all liberals, why TDS has got us all messed up and deranged in the head. But y'all ain't going to do that because y'all don't look at information from across the spectrum.